I will say, welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. I am celebrating my 7th year of streaming. I would assume, like, in the sense of streaming, it would be like on Twitch here, but in the proper sense, just streaming together. It's been quite a fruitful, but yet an interesting time for this year. And honestly, there's a lot of things that came out of it. Seven years, a lot of ups, downs, a lot of good and bad times. So, but I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot more because I'm thinking back to my 5th year of it when I literally said that I would do 10 years of this. Hell, I would do 15, and I'm still going. Still creating when I can create and just make some content here and there. So I have a Q&A thing here, and what I mentioned on Sunday, if you guys check me out on Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, or if you're part of my community Discord, which by the way you can be part of it, so that way you can be part of the community, which link down below. I'm going to be doing a Q&A, and I asked everybody to DM me their questions or reply with certain questions they want to ask me. And I've got about at least 5 questions. The 5th one has a lot of questions in them, and we're going to be answering every single one of them. And I will be basically upfront and pure honest about it, no matter what it is. Let's get down to business for what it is. Let me start with the first one. And this one came from Blue Sky, from my good old friend Ramen, who I've known for about I've known about 7 years, actually, hilarious enough. I've known them for 7 years. Well, at least 7 years. And they pretty much asked me, happy 7th Heavy, absolutely proud you continue to do what you love and bring smiles and joys to those around you. I'm glad to have met you and known you. For 7 years, I've known this person. How do you maintain a stream schedule along with work and everything, and what originally made you pick up streaming? So, the only way I'm able to maintain a stream schedule and everything is just kind of like, it's a balancing act between this and like my full-time job that I have. And to put it simply, I just know my limitations to know when I can stream. Like, if I have a day off, then that's my good opportunity to stream. If there's a moment where, if I could take like, if I'm working for like in the afternoons and the night, and I come home or so, if I can at least get like an hour and a half of like a little bit of rest, or just basically laying back a little bit, I could probably do another stream. I could probably do a stream and just do that like into the mornings, and then, because here's the thing too, I work off of 4 to 5 hours of sleep. Any other times on hand, it's just basically me passing out just because my body needs rest. So I just kind of like know my limitations and know what I can work with here and there. And then there's other times that I can't work with it or so. I basically just say, hey, I can't stream that day. Especially depending on how I feel or so. And what originally made you pick up streaming? So, I think originally what made me pick up streaming was long ago, long ago, before this entire platform that I'm on of Twitch was originally called Justin TV. There was a group of people who would just randomly play video games. They were wrestling video games, and I thought it was pretty cool for what it was, by the name of New Legacy Inc. It was on Justin TV, and then they transitioned over to Twitch. I wasn't at that time interested with it, but it kind of like began to boil in a way, or just kind of like form, because after that there was like a part of them was basically Hogan versus Flair, and then there was a group of people called It's Raining Ming that I used to do clipping for. I was a clipper for them, and at that point I was like, you know what, I'll see if I can give it a go. And at that time too, I was part of a wrestling forum board called Armbar Era Society, and I thought, I'll see if I can give it a go and test it. I didn't have a streaming PC, I only had my PS4. I just had my PS4 and a crappy Wi-Fi signal, so I basically remember testing out and trying to stream like Rogue Galaxy, and I was going to do it in episodes and all that. And I think I only did like 2 episodes of it, because at that point, at that time, I didn't really fully understand if people even cared enough about it because it was just for me, I guess. But I was hoping that people would care more about, you know, what I was trying to attempt to do here and there, but didn't come to fruition, and that was back in 2014. Fast forward 4 years later, and I started streaming again, and that was because of the inspiration of watching a person by the name of Dead Thing play Yakuza 3. No, Yakuza 4, actually. Yakuza 4 just because it had Akira in it. Yakuza 4. And I took interest in it because I was enjoying watching what they were doing, and I thought, I'll try to pick it back up. Yeah, doing it for the love of it. Yeah, doing it for the love of it for the most part, Tara. Yeah. I'm doing it for the love of it. I enjoy it. And overall, that was the kind of the inspiration that kind of got me into basically trying to get in Rogue Galaxy. I beat the entire game because I beat the entire game and it was on my PS4. So, but yeah, that was the entire like originally what made me pick up streaming. So let me get the next question on hand, and I believe this was. Let me think here. Yeah, Emmy Bug. Good old Emmy. Emmy asked this question to me just because since we've been so in depth with Monster Hunter. They were curious on hand to ask me this too. Which weapons in Monster Hunter are your favorite, and which are your favorite monsters? Let me say, weapon-wise, I don't really have a favorite. I mostly just have an idea of what I want to work with throughout the game, really. Because when it came down to it, I just always wanted to master different ones if I could, and just see what it is. At the current moment, as I'm playing Monster Hunter Wilds, I'm mastering Switch Axe. So if I ever had to think for my long periods of time of weapons, too, of what I've played, it's going to be hard because there's still some stuff I haven't tested out. Because in this order, I played Heavy Bowgun, and then Charge Blade, went to Rise, and did Dual Blades, strictly Dual Blades, went to Generations Ultimate, and did Sword and Board, and then back to Monster Hunter World, continued Charge Blade, and then Monster Hunter Wilds did Switch Axe. Honestly, if I had to take from that experience or so, currently, I would say Dual Blades has been one of my favorites. Just to mess around with, because I could easily dodge around, just kind of like keep attacking. And originally, I just wanted to be like far away from attacking a monster, but I feel like being up close and personal is more fun that way than just being far away and being a spectator, so. Gen Ultimate Sword, and yeah, it was cracked. And you know what's even more cracked about it, too? Is when you got the Nursilla, like, set combined with it. Combined with that was, like, the weapon just to be able to do poison. That was pretty cracked as well. Speaking of monsters, which are your favorite monsters? Right off the back, Devil Joe. Devil Joe just because of that one. I have a friend by the name of Manic Hyena who hates Devil Joe. And Devil Joe ironically became my favorite just because of that interaction. Because, according to Manic, Devil Joe is like his Sephiroth. He just always keeps haunting him and pops up when you least expect it. And when you played any kind of games or so, whether it was Frontier or like Hunters Unite or so, Devil Joe was a pain in the ass, especially when, or even in Ultimate, when you're just minding your own business, or even in World, when you're minding your own business, and why is the ground shaking? And out of the blue, here comes a pickle rising from the ashes, here to basically ruin your day. Backed by unpopular demand, me, I'm here to basically screw up whatever kind of hunt you're doing, just for the sake of the game. And that is Devil Joe. That is literally Devil Joe in a nutshell. The ultimate day ruiner, and because of that, with some of the interactions Manic had, it became really one of my favorite monsters. The other monster I can think of, I could think of just because of that one interaction that kind of like, you know, put you fastened on your seatbelts or so, is Valstrax. Because if there's anything in the world, you gotta put him in the jar. Yeah, gotta put him in the jar, Tara. And I was going to say Valstrax is one of my other favorite monsters just because of the fact that if there's anything that will jump scare you exactly like Lazarus just did, if there's one thing that will ever jump scare you or even remotely put you on your toes, is seeing a jet rocket dragon take off, do a Daft Punk around the world, and come crashing down. Literally come crashing down dick first to show you who's boss. It's Valstrax. Is me? Are you a meteor, Lazara? I did not know you were. I did not know. But no, Valstrax is one of my favorites for that. If I could think of one more, and then we'll kind of go to the next question. If there is one more monster I could think of, that is one of my... Okay, this is underrated. This is kind of like an underrated monster because of how it was. But in Generations Ultimate, I thought it was a pretty cool final boss because you least expected it would do that. Altel Ka. And for those who don't know who Altel Ka is, imagine a gold scarab bug. It uses silk to basically drag a bunch of items to throw at you and swing it around. And then out of the blue, it takes that gold silk to pull out a giant, like, mech-like Gundam. Just to basically pilot it, just to try to kill you. Now, who would expect a bug to do that at all? Especially when you were playing this. And then the final bit of it is literally him strapping a wheel to his back just so he can throw it at you. And that wheel hurt. Trust me, it's a underrated boss. I wish it would come back. Just because I feel like it would be really cool to see Altel Ka, like say in Wilds, just so we can see that giant mech that we fight. Just to fight. God, that'd be crazy to see. You talk about Dalamadur? Lazara? Yeah, the giant snake. Funny enough, I never got a chance to play, I think, try or on Monster Hunter 4, so I've never fought Dalamadur. I've heard theories or seen gameplay of it, but I've never fought him. Maybe in time I will, if I can find a way to go back and play some of the old Monster Hunter games. In time. Yeah, true. True, but yeah, those are my favorite monsters here. I have another question here, and this actually came from YouTube. This came from YouTube. Some from Red Dragon Fire. And they asked me, what is your main motivation to keep going, and what were your goals, and have they changed or stayed the same? So, my motivation for streaming was, it always has been just wanting to play games, and also wanting to basically make funny stuff, funny or fun stuff out of the different clips and moments that have happened here. And honestly, it's one of those. You gotta understand too. I edit mostly everything that I have that's on YouTube and TikTok. If you ever seen any clip that came from me or so, or see that blue text with a white borderline or so in the Iron Man font, that was me. I edit every single bit. I literally self-taught myself to edit in order to basically do stuff here and there. I did other wilder things too, editing-wise, when I first started, and I still want to continue to grow so I can do a lot better things, and also work on more like long-term content, but I've been enjoying mostly doing short-term content. So my motivation is to basically have great funny moments, or just basically play games and it just suddenly that moment that happens on hand, and just have great fun times. And what were your goals, and have they changed or stayed the same? So funny enough, I don't know if anybody's ever can see it, but in my Discord, I had a channel in here called basically goals or so. My goals that I had, and most of these have been like marked out or so. I had literally two categories: short-term goals and long-term goals. And I'm gonna give you my long-term goals to let you know what it was. The two things that were marked out on it was becoming an affiliate on Twitch and building a Discord community for viewers and friends. Those two have been marked out, so those are my long-term goals are done. The other ones that I still want to basically make happen on hand is as follows. I really do want to become partner on Twitch, it's not because of the badge, it's not because of, the recognition for it, but it's because it is the opportunity to be able to do bigger things that I could do collab-wise, as well as creative-wise, to be able to. In addition, past that, just because I want people to have that same opportunity too, I want to help others get partner on Twitch as well. That has always stayed the same. Like if I could basically get partner myself, I would help basically do my best to get others partnered too, because I want them to have their own communities and also that creative aspect to do some of the things they love to do on a bigger scale and just have fun with it. The other thing as well is working on networking and collaborations for future events. I want to be able to do more networking. It's just the biggest thing about networking is, which I will tell you, is you got to find the right person that has the right chemistry with you. And to have the right chemistry is to have the right sense of humor that you have. Like, if they can laugh at your jokes as much as you can laugh at their jokes or so, that's it. That's the click right there. That is the click to be able to, like, you know you're going to have a great time just basically playing games together. Or just, like, doing, like, these different ideas and everything. And, trust me, it's one of those things where that is the main thing for me. If I can laugh with you, and you can laugh with me, and we can just make, like, some of the stupidest things possible, and we can just have fun with it, that's perfect. The other thing I had, too, which I still want to establish this, but I need to figure out what I can make, is I want to have a merch store. I really want to have a merch store. Basically, I want to get a merch store set up and have multiple pieces of merch tribute to key members of the community. Like, the key members of the people on hand who just, like, have their own merchandise. But I do want to do a merch store and just basically have, like, multiple pieces of merch that's, like, tribute to, like, some of the members of my community. No, you're good, Lazarus. You're good. Like, there's, like, a couple people I can think of that I just want to give merch to. Like, if I can think of it and if I can make it work, I would love to basically have people have their own shirt just because of their own jokes with it or so. Like, I'll give you an example. The thing that pops in my head is literally, like, if once Terror gets his, you know, OC, his creative model or so, I would love for him to have a shirt of, like, some sort of inside joke, or, like, some sort of emote for it or so, or basically it'd be like, you know, does it grip? As a t-shirt or something, or like, Hammy. Just the whole cheese bit, because you gotta understand, me and Hammy are like Dumb and Dumber. We work off of each other in stupidity when it comes to some of the things we do, and, like, we could just say one word to each other, and just basically dive into be like, ah, yes, says another word, does this, and just die laughing for no reason. So, but that's what I want, that's what I hope to be able to do sometime in the future. I just need to figure out when that can happen. And the other thing is, I have these projects, these two projects that I have planned, that I want to make happen, and both of these are a form of operation projects. I'm not going to tell you what the details of them are, but it's basically like this. I have two operations I want to be able to do when the time is right. Operation Workhorse, Operation Iron Man. And I want to be able to get both of those to work, and when the time comes, both of them are for good causes, and for good reasons. But hopefully, when the time is right, we'll get a chance to do that. I just need to be in a better position to be able to make that happen. Hopefully, in time I can, and I hope maybe soon I can. We'll see what happens again. But no, my goals have always stayed the same. They have never changed. Like, they've never changed, just like my motivation for what I want to achieve and everything. So, yeah. And the next one I have here, this came from Ketsu Kozak, by the way. This came from Ketsu Kozak, who basically just asked me straight up, are you a Fed? Depends. Have you checked your Wi-Fi connection lately? Because I promise you, I am not FBI van number 3 that's literally sitting there waiting for you to basically go into it so I can find out what you're doing. No, I am not. I am the farthest thing from, like, anything law enforcement related. And finally, just because this is the big one, and this came from Tara, who basically, Tara had a lot of questions because they were brainstorming a lot of things they wanted to ask me, and I want to go for all of this. and I do want to go through all of this, and there's probably going to be some in this that we're going to be, you know, asking, because I guarantee for him or so, I guess for him or so, especially since he wants to get back into streaming, it would help you. So I haven't answered any of these questions yet, because I thought I'd wait until you get here, so that way I could just answer to you in person, so that way it will be a little bit... Okay, so here. Let me start with the first ones that you asked, since I'm going down the list here. How did you first get into streaming? Again, it was from motivation from watching a group of people called New Legacy Inc. And I got the interest of it, and it kind of boiled over after seeing a couple other wrestling Twitch channels like Hogan vs. Flair and It's Raining Ming. So, honestly, I got motivated from watching other people doing it, and then it kind of like revived itself after watching another person by the name of Dead Thing, and then I basically was doing it since then. So, after that. What inspired you to start, and your next question here was, what inspired you to start your own channel? So, actually, I don't think I even had a theme at that time of what made me want to inspire my own channel at the time, because originally, too, for, like, YouTube and everything else, I think I never had a theme, actually, funny enough. Because the gimmick I had at the time, especially in VR chat and on Twitch and everything, was, like, me just being this dapper Iron Man. Hell, some of my emotes are still like Dapper Iron Man stuff because that's where it originated from. And
yeah, the Dapper Iron Man thing, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't even have like a voice to it. I didn't have like a certain kind of like mannerism. It was just literally me. I literally, if you think about it, 7 years, I basically raw dogged my entire career just being me. Didn't have any gimmicks.
7 years of raw dogging? That's crazy.
I know, right?
Straight unprotected.
Yeah. No, I've never had a theme for this whole thing when it came down to my channel. I basically was like, especially on YouTube, I just posted some of the stuff that I enjoyed making editing-wise, and then if people enjoy it, cool. I mean, I'll be making more of this as the time keeps going by and once I balance everything out. And honestly, it just kind of like grew as its own identity. And it also was based around the fact that I didn't do it by myself. I always did it with friends. To like some of the moments they happen or so, or just like any other things that were by myself, it was just kind of like just funny moments that came with it. So let's see. What's your favorite thing about streaming? The interaction. Like, I could tell you on hand, the internet is like an ocean. It's big, vast, and it cannot be contained, but in that ocean you're gonna find a lot of people you can relate to, and just have a lot of people that you wish you were next door neighbors to, so that way you can go and hang out with them and everything. But you're just like
very true.
But you're like across the globe or like across the country or so. And honestly, I hope. Honestly, I just enjoy the interaction on it because that's where that fun chemistry comes in or so. And it goes back to what I said, is like, if you and I can have jokes and we can laugh at each other's sense of humor, no matter how crazy it is or so, we've got that chemistry to basically get along with each other and just have like great fun times together, no matter what it is or so. And that's what makes a good friend, if you're able to laugh with each other, to me.
The fact that you can deal with my out-of-pocket comments is good enough.
Trust me, I've dealt with a lot of out-of-pocket things in my life, and it became part of me. I've said a lot of out-of-pocket things too. You've seen me, I've said. So, yeah. But yeah, that's my favorite thing, the interaction. Whether it be in chat, in VC, in-game interaction, I enjoy that more than anything else. It's my favorite thing. So, what is the most memorable streaming moment you've experienced? Ooh, that's a good one. The thing is, now, I'm going to break this down 2 categories. I will remember this based on the good thing I've done, and then there were moments where I have yet to basically been broken, because, like, I haven't teared up because of based on what it is or so, or just kind of like, you know, felt like a sense of, like, huge gratitude for everything I've done. I think it's mostly because of the fact that I just kind of kept my nose down, just kind of kept working, grinding against the wheel for everything. But the biggest good thing I've done was doing the 24-hour stream for Toys R Tots charity event that I kept trying to do every single year or so, because I believed at that time that I was doing a good thing, that I was helping people. And for me, it's kind of like, I guess in a way for streaming, it's like, streaming's like that big escape for people, so they don't have to think about life too much. But for me, to be able to do something that would affect and help other people, always feel like that's the biggest, like, that's one of the biggest things you can easily do, just to try to help others if you can. And just doing that is one of my greatest moments. I think the other greatest moment I did was, ooh, let me think. I'm trying to remember, because there was a moment where, okay, I think this is gonna sound, this could be anybody, but beating Dark Souls on stream after dying multiple times and finally beating Gwen was still like a moment of appreciation, I guess, in my own head, because
That's always fun. So you do it like you have it recorded, like it's proof that you did it.
yeah. I mean, I wish I still had it, but unfortunately Twitch wanted me to delete all my highlights and everything. But I can tell you right now, I can still remember the number. I died 22 times trying to beat Arturius, but I still kept going until I finally was able to. On that one...
You know what? 22 isn't too bad.
Yeah. On that one Thursday morning stream, I literally woke up at 8 a.m. just to stream Dark Souls and kept streaming. I just streamed, I would stream for like 3 hours, but I was at that point too where I was trying to fight Artorias, and literally about like maybe 2.5 hours in, I finally beat him. I kept my nose to the grindstone for it, and just kept that going. Honestly, I feel like whenever that time comes, I don't know when it will be, but I hope I can still go in to see it or something. But I feel like my greatest streaming moment too, I feel like that's got to be the golden star to it, is whenever I do get Twitch partnered or so, or just like reach like a certain milestone goal, because I have my milestone goals down.
Milestone.
Yeah, that'll be the ultimate milestone. Just like it'll basically be like the cap on the bottle of this career I have on Twitch, just for what it is. But it'll get there when it gets there, but I'm not going to try to jump to the conclusions to hope that, you know, if it does. But yeah, that's going to be the, hopefully the ultimate milestone I can reach. So, what are some of the, okay, and your next question was, what are some of the challenges you face as a streamer? So, a couple things. One is time. Like, time is going to be the biggest factor you're going to deal with, because you have to put your nose against it, and you have to keep that motivation to keep going for this longest period of time for what you set your mind to, and that is going to be hard. It's hard. Trust me. The second hardest thing is just like technology, just trying to keep up with streaming, and just basically try to upgrade your stuff and get like better things to like innovate yourself, you know, and just do some different stuff here. That's like second for what it is or so, and it all depends on the money factor, because you're saving up just to do more here and there or so for what it is.
Yeah,
So,
it's like investment in time.
Yeah, investment in time. Yeah, and I think the last one too, the biggest challenge you're going to be facing with is those hard times, because everybody here, no matter who you are, you may be the biggest streamer in the world, you may be Kai Sonata, you may be Iron Mouse, you may be like the biggest streamer possible, no, in what category or so. You started out with one viewer, and you didn't get bigger until something magical happened, which was luck. It was something big, something lucky came your way, but you kept your nose down. You're going to be dealing with the hard times of basically being by yourself, just streaming a game, playing, and just, you know, not have anybody to talk to. And, you know, there's going to be those times where it's just like you're wondering if you'll ever be up there with everybody else. If you're going to be up there with, like, say, Heavenly Father, or, like, you're going to be up there with, like, I don't know, Centrea, or be like... I described this on hand, but I feel like it's a little bit harsh to describe it. But basically, be like one of the people who've earned their spot at the table, you know?
Yeah.
And...
It's very Bubble Ray of you.
yeah, it is, but it's gonna be hard, and the thing that's gonna have to keep you going is the motivation of what you enjoy doing. And if you keep that motivation strong, remember why you're doing this, and just remember to have fun with what it is and not try to turn it into like more than just a hobby, it'll get there. The biggest thing you're gonna have to know is it's luck. And luck requires time and that right moment for it to basically make it happen. And you're going to have those lucky moments. There's going to be lucky moments. You're going to find that one person that will always hang out with you. You're going to have that lucky moment of basically catching the eye of people that that you had no idea was watching you. It'll happen. It's just a matter of time. And just kind of like keeping yourself motivated too. Which kind of circles back around to the biggest thing, time itself. What would advice you give to inspire streamers? Here's my biggest advice, and I'm telling you this, and I'll tell you this on hand too. And this actually too, this will be directed to you, Tara, because I know you're trying to get back into streaming and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Play the games you love to play. Don't play games that are trendy. Don't play games that are, you know, like out there that other people are playing. Do what you enjoy doing, for the most part, because that's when things are fun. If you go out there and just play like games that are like, you know, like people have play like Apex or like Valorant or like certain games that are out there that people are following the trend for just to be able to make themselves, you know, a little bit bigger in that kind of format or so, you're just going to make yourself miserable, because at that point it's no longer about it being fun or being a hobby. It's more about basically trying to get on that wave and riding it. So that way, you have people that will follow you to where you want to be. But if you just do some of the things you enjoy doing, like Monster Hunter, or like playing like hunting games that you enjoy, or just like all these different like games that you enjoy doing, or you know, or just like, hey, you know, WWE 2K25 or so, or if you wanted to, enjoy the games you enjoy playing, and just having fun with it is the biggest advice I can give you. Because the thing too is that you'll get big over time by being you. Just be you and don't be anybody else, because that's who everybody came here to see. They came here to see you. That's the biggest.
Very inspirational.
Yeah, very inspirational. Very inspirational, but it's also a little bit of a real life factor too, because if you have that line where if you become somebody else, people are going to be showing up for that person and not specifically you. It's always the battle between, you know, there's going to be like that moment too, which I will tell you too. There's going to be a moment where you're going to be thinking to yourself, did people come here for my personality, for that personality, or did they come here for me? Especially depending on who you are, gimmick wise or such, because it's one of those things too where I feel like those are dying out and people are just coming for the people who are them more than anything else. Because back then everybody had a gimmick. In the VTubing section, everybody had a gimmick.
They still kind of do, but like it's like, but VTubing is a weird kind of social sphere.
It is
on its own.
It is, especially with how they got everything set up. It's weird.
In the indies, it's more like regular streaming, but in like the corporate VTubers, it's a lot different. It's more titles.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to have like those like personality traits. A little less now. VTubers now can be a little bit more unhinged, and it's been like kind of cool. But before it was definitely like you had to project a specific personality depending on your character.
Yeah, definitely, and the thing too is like it'll manifest itself in something different over time. It's just a matter of what it's going to be. But as long as you kind of continue the path of what you believe in and what makes you, then that's what only matters in the end, really. You know, don't be fake, be real. So, but let's see. Yep, very, very true here. What's your favorite type of content to create? VR content, really? Because I will tell you on hand, there are going to be other games out there that I could easily edit or so. But when it comes down to like interacting, the full-on interaction with people in chat or just like right next to me or so, it's always been like VR chat content, because I have a person I can talk to. I can basically just, you know, interact with, and they can see some of the crazy stuff that I've said or so, or just basically see some of the moments I see right then and there. And
like the bucket of cheese moment.
Yes, the bucket of cheese. No, it wasn't even. No, actually, that was a bucket of cornbread. Just because.
Oh, it was fucking cornbread.
No,
that makes it even fucking worse.
It looks like cheese, but when I looked at it, it was like that's texture cornbread.
My man said, "I got this pail full of that motherfucking cornbread."
Cornbread. What is life but a bucket of cornbread? You know.
What we make today.
It's what we make today. That is right. Yeah, that is right. It's what we make today.
That guy.
But it is easier for me to basically edit that content up because I can show a little bit more interaction. Or just be able to do more interactable stuff with everybody too. You can see my facial features. It may not be the greatest facial features, like especially on this VTuber model I have, but you can see my hands move. And all that, but in VR chat, it's like, you can see my face, you can see me move, you can see me talking to you, you can see me pointing out things, describing it and everything. It's more interactable for me.
You're more like emotive.
Yeah, motive for what it is, and also just looking at different worlds and just showing the beauty of it. So
I just noticed you also talk with your hands a little bit.
I do, because it's easy for me to describe something and just kind of I feel more interactive if I move my hands around.
You got some Italian in you?
Let me tell you something. No. So let me see here. What do you choose? Okay, how do you choose the games or activities you stream? So how I kind of choose it is based on it's based on two things: interest and have I finished this game? Because I could tell you on hand, and I'm pretty sure some VTubers will admit it, there's some games that they have played, but they have not finished. I'm guilty of this. Super Mario Sunshine. We are not going back there. So, I don't... It is no secret that I do not like Super Mario Sunshine for many reasons on hand. I might as well... Again, I should make a channel...
Non-flashbacks?
I get non-flashbacks to it. I hear Black Sabbath's Paranoid when I think of Super Mario Sunshine. It's based on have I finished this game and is the interest still there, specifically for me. Because if I enjoy the game or so, then everybody else is going to enjoy kind of like the interaction or the reaction of how I see this game. And there's going to be times where I'm going to be very quiet because maybe I'm focused, or there's going to be moments where I may not have a lot of things to say for what's happening because I'm probably taking in the story of what it is. Like, I'm planning on finishing Monster Hunter Wilds anyways, because I am enjoying that game. And I want to basically also do a lot of grinding and everything outside of it. For, like, content and everything. Well, not content, for the, gear. For the gear and all that, and just so I have better things to work with. So, Lazarus, man, I love Super Mario Sunshine. Boy, I've got some news for you.
Yeah, Super Mario Sunshine did not love you. Question, I guess, which kind of goes into this. And have you played A Hat in Time yet?
Yes, I have, actually. I love having time.
Okay.
I would love to do a multiplayer session of A Hat in Time.
That game has multiplayer?
Yes, it does. It came out with multiplayer.
Oh, I don't even know that.
Yeah, it came out with multiplayer, and not only that or so, you can basically... Oh, how many people can you have? If we want to include what Dan RT Game did, you can have up to 50 people in one session. He broke that game. He literally got his viewers in there, and literally it was lagging to hell, and there was like 50 people in it.
That sounds wild.
So yeah, that's something. So yeah, I would love to do a Hat in Time session or so, and I'm pretty sure that would be fun to mess around with because we would end up probably either sabotaging one another or it would just be like just trying to work together. But to answer that question, I basically choose it based on interest and if I finish that game, pretty much. What is your approach to interacting with your viewers? So, my approach of really just interacting with viewers is like if somebody comes in and says hello, I'm gonna be just kind of like give them the nice, just give them the normal greetings I would do. Be like, hey, what's going on? Hope you're doing well and you're having yourself a wonderful day. Well, come on in. I'm basically playing this. And I'm just having a lot of fun just doing what I'm doing. Hopefully today's treating you well. Just kind of like start out with some nice gesture and everything. Because you don't know what the other people are going to be like. But at the same time, it would be nice to, wish them a good day. Or just,
I just roast my viewers. But they kind of like that shit. They're weird.
The day I start roasting people is the day that you wonder what made me flip that coin to do it. What was right? Yeah. What
I'm
was
supposed to be the unhinged one.
Yeah. What was the Rainmaker coin drop that made me do this? So.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like being nice, for the most part, interact with people. What are some of your favorite interactions with your community? When we take the piss out of each other, really.
Yeah.
We, literally, I cannot tell you how many times that we've done that, where we just take the literal piss out of each other, for what it was. And just the fact that... It's the fact too that we're able to give each other shit, but at the same time, it's the kind of shit that basically we know it's not harmful. We're just basically making fun of each other, but at the same time, it's like in a fun-loving way. So.
Yeah, I actually had that conversation with an employee of mine because I kind of talk the same way here that I talk at work, except with like a little less profanity.
Yeah.
But I used to tell people like, yeah, if I'm making fun of you, it's because I like you. The only reason you could tell I don't like you if I don't talk to you like at all.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like I
roasting is my love language.
Yeah. Let's see. There's more to the interaction or so, but it's just more of just basically we're just giving each other crap about things, but we just do it just in a fun-loving way. So, what's your current stream setup like? So, I'll explain this. As I'm looking at you guys right now, I have my webcam that's right here. Right down here is my Leap Motion controller. I feel like this is a little bit out of pocket, because in fact, my hands is pointing right at my crotch. It's like, this is my Leap Motion controller, just like for the way it is. But no, it's right here on my desk for me to be able to move my hands. I have two monitors. The main monitor's right here where my hand is. Right up here is my secondary monitor, so that way I can see OBS and everything. So that way, if I see chat, I will see it on that side and everything. And right there. Right here is my old, on the, your guys' left-hand side, my left-hand side, actually. We'll put it back in your pocket, good God. Is my old desktop. This is the desktop computer that I've used since I first started streaming, and I kept it with me just to remind myself that it still has use for many different things I could do, like editing and everything else. So I gave it like a secondary support kind of thing. Across from that is my... So I have three monitors, but the third monitor I have is a Magnavox TV. I never bothered getting another monitor because that still has use, so I just kind of worked with it.
Literal like tube TV blast from the past that has monitor.
Like literally a TV you would put in an RV that has like a DVD player attached to it, and I would just basically have that as a secondary monitor, so that way I could put some stuff over there just to hold it while I'm working on like editing or anything, or just need to drag anything over.
Using a whole coax cable.
Oh god, no! I don't have to worry about it. Lucky enough, this does have HDMI cables on it, so I'm happy enough with that.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it has HDMI cables.
like imagine using composite cables is some bullshit.
Yeah, I know it has like an AVI on the back of it too, so I didn't want to mess with that.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It is disgusting. It is old, but this thing is still working. I think that's my main thing. I work with what I got and improvise with what I have. So. And then over here on my right side, right where Tara is, it looks like I'm henpatting you, Tara, is my current PC tower. It's got a, this is a tower that was made by my friend MT, who I gave money to, and I said, hey, can you make me a really good streaming tower? So he said on it, and I traveled out to where he was, and he showed me how he gets things set up, how he puts things together tower-wise, and shows me installing program and everything or so. And to test it out and everything, I did like 120 FPS playing Elden Ring while in his house on this tower on a keyboard. I didn't get too far. So, but no, this is my current streaming tower, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm able to do some of the things that a lot better than the other one. And to give you an idea or so, my old tower had a 1070 in it. My current one has a 4070 in it. So.
Upgrades.
Yeah, upgrades. Don't worry. Hey, don't worry. You'll get your stuff upgraded too. I promise you that.
Wait, what do you mean? I have a 3090.
You're not powerful. That's not powerful enough. We need to go all the way.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you get.
As I put an actual jet engine in my fucking tower.
We need to give you a matrix GPU so that way you can truly feel what you're playing.
As I have a quantum processor.
Yeah, quantum. We're gonna get yourself a GeForce Quantum. Let's see. So that's my current setup. Also, before I forget, my blue snowball's right here. I have a blue snowball mic. I don't have a Yeti or like one of those like fancy arm ones that you just attach to your table and you just kind of like lift it up and it's like right here for me to basically speak into. I just got like a set up blue snowball with a pop filter on it. How do you manage your technical aspects of your streaming? So, how I manage it on hand is before I even start streaming or so, I would be up like an hour before and just start doing some technical maintenance to make sure everything's running. Well, everything's set up perfectly. Like with some of the pictures I have, or make sure that's up, make sure that's there, or like make sure my settings are correct. To give you an idea or so too, and again, this goes into the aspect of work with what you got and work with what you have or so. If you guys don't know, my download speed of my internet is like 30 megabytes. My upload speed is 2.14 megabytes, 2.14 megabytes. The recommended
So gross.
No, here's the gross part. The recommended bit rate, well, the recommended speed you need to have for your upload speed in order to even stream like perfect, like 720 60 FPS or so is 7 megabytes of upload speed. I'm like at least 1/3 of that, and I'm somehow able to manage this as it is.
It's just like the little engine that could, I guess.
Yeah, I'm literally that version of it. It's just a matter of how big of a hill am I climbing doing this or so. I'm literally hoping I can get I'm still waiting on my internet upgrade, but if I can get an internet upgrade, I'll be able to do a lot of better things that'll look better than what I have. How do you stay motivated and avoid burnout? So, let me tell you.
We've gone over this a little bit.
We've gone over this a little bit, and it took a lot of people to get me to basically take a break. Trust me, if there's anybody in the world that could tell you how it is with me and burnouts, ask Chaotic. That man has seen me basically at my most burnt, but still kept going because I didn't know how to stop. And it was literally my workaholic mentality that took over. When I was feeling less motivated or so, I thought, okay, I'll just edit, just chase away those feelings, and just kind of keep editing stuff, basically putting a lot of things in. I have two forms. I either become human or I become machine when it comes down to it or so. And there's been times where my own work mentality took over my peaceful mentality, where I would become emotionless. I would basically be putting my nose in editing and just constantly editing because my mind was my goal, and my goal was always on my mind. Basically wanting to get up there, wanting to be on that mountain, you know? And it got to a point where I was deteriorating. Like I was mentally deteriorating. And there's been times where, again, Chaotic forced me to take a break because I was literally hurting myself more than I was actually helping. Because I was going too far deep in. And again, that's on me. And there was a lot of factors that played into it, really. Like, it was literally... biggest one was, like, the death of a family member that I had that I was really close to. And I was trying to chase away that feeling. From it by just constantly working. And unfortunately, that work mentality I took with me home. And I constantly did that. And then when certain things were not the right results or so, I would start beating myself up more than anything else. But you know how it is. It's like if you keep cutting yourself, sooner or later you're going to accidentally bleed on somebody else with it. And that happened. Yeah. That happened, and there's a lot of regrets that I've done. And the biggest thing I'm going to tell you on hand is, if you don't feel like doing something, don't do it. Like, if you don't feel like editing, if you don't feel like streaming, if you don't feel like making something that day, just lay back and play games. There's always another day. There's always another day to do stuff, or so. Don't push yourself for the sake of pushing yourself, because if you do, you're only going to hurt yourself in the end. And I get the idea of having, like, tasks, doing all this and everything, because you just want to become big, or you just want to accomplish a lot of things in a short amount of time, but that's only going to hurt yourself. Because you can't chop a tree down with a dull axe. You can chop a tree down with a sharper axe by, letting it rest, letting it be tempered, letting it, soak in, in relaxing waters. That way it can be more sharpened.
Your axe needs a spa day.
Your axe needs a spa day. The weapon of your choice needs that little bit of time. It's time for itself.
Massage the handle.
Massage the handle. Rub the edges. But
exfoliate the wood.
Yes. But so to answer your question, what keeps me motivated is I have my goals of what I want to do, but I learn to take my time with them and not try to push it. Because here's the thing. If you can push yourself as much as you want, but you're only going to hurt yourself doing that. So take your time with it. And for avoiding burnouts is this. Remind yourself, you are human. You can only do so much. Don't become machine, because if you do, you become soulless, you become emotionless, you're pushing yourself to an early grave, and people will see it. People will see it in streams. People will see it in your community. And people will be very concerned about you, that you're basically gonna, overwork yourself. You overwork yourself to death. And I say that considering the fact I've had people in my family actually die from overworking. 3 of them.
Yeah.
It's a running family.
That can't happen.
Yeah, it's literally running on my stray father's side of things, where literally three people in his family die from overworking.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the best way I can tell you. Remind yourself you're human, and remind yourself to take your time just so you can stay motivated. What other hobbies do you do besides streaming? I would classify editing as a hobby, but I feel like it kind of correlates with streaming, so I'm just not going to classify that. I do enjoy... let's see here. Because of you, Tara, I enjoy cooking.
Yeah.
I enjoy cooking stuff and trying some different things out here and there. I've also I used to do poetry. Like I used to have like I used to write poetry in a book and everything, just kind of for what it is. Video gaming is always one of my hobbies too, especially with some of the stuff I do play here and there, whether it be old retro games or just other things in general. I do some gaming. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some soul searching on it, to be honest with you.
Go on a vision quest.
Go on a vision quest. I go hiking sometimes. Some would say I may also do
fucking peyote.
Get some peyote, and then I find weird tight caves, and I go, oh, let's go cave diving, because I got nothing best.
Please don't.
No, I got nothing better to do. I ain't gonna do it. No, I'm not. If you want to know, I'm not much of an outdoorsman. Anyways, I used to go camping, and then I realized, wait a minute. I would feel better just staying home than being out here in hot-ass weather, surrounded by mosquitoes. So,
yeah.
So, let's see here. What's a fun fact about you that people may not know? Let me think here. Honestly, I think the biggest fun fact about me that I have, which I could share, is that, I'm sorry to say this, and this is gonna blow your mind, Tara. I don't always wear a top hat in real life.
Oh man.
I have a top hat.
Not my immersion.
No, I do have a top hat. Funny enough, I do have a top hat on my shelf here that I can always bring with me anywhere I go. But no, I don't wear a top hat in real life all the time. I'm trying to think of like a real fun fact or so. I don't know if this is considered a fun fact, but honestly, it does relate to it or so. Yes, I do drink Nas for the most part, and I hope. Actually, I should put that down on my long-term goal if I can even get that working, because that would actually be funny. if I was able to get a NOS sponsorship, because that would make me the first VTuber to ever have a NOS sponsorship.
Oh, like, yo, yeah, because you bought that 8-pack when we did Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I bought an 8-pack for Monster Hunter Wilds because I just wanted to be up and do just like get a lot of stuff done, like for the midnight release of it. So
yeah, that was fun.
yeah, it is. Okay, what's your favorite game outside of streaming? Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. So at the current moment, outside of streaming or so, because I don't stream it. I used to stream it a long time ago, but I don't do it anymore because it's a lot of grinding and everything. I play Pokemon Infinite Fusions. So.
Oh yeah, I've seen you play that before.
Yeah, I play Pokemon Infinite Fusions, and I just kind of enjoy, just like I'm. People probably know, but probably don't know either. I'm a big Pokemon fan. I don't keep up with normal Pokemon games nowadays because I gotten older. And I think the last games I played was like I played Scarlet on my Switch.
Yeah, that was like the last one that came out. Scarlet.
Yeah, that was the last one. I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up with all the other Pokemon games. To be honest with you, I think it's just more the fact that it's not that I'm burnt out, but it's just like I've gotten older and I've just kind of like gotten used to playing like ROMs more than like keeping up with any Nintendo stuff. With that, but no, I play Pokemon Infinite Fusions because I just enjoy just the aspect of like creating some different creations in that, as well as just having a nice fun time just like grinding just grinding up Pokemon and everything, like level wise, because I'm a big when it comes down, like if anybody ever asked you when it comes down to it or so, like MMOs or anything, I would grind for hours on end of like XP stuff or so, and just like get things up and running. Like I have not talked about this or so, but you know it, Tara. I used to play Final Fantasy 14, and
yeah,
and I think I stopped at Heaven's Ward, and it was also because I had like that ADHD moment where I was just going around grinding up classes while also just completing side quests and everything, because I guess I just wanted the XP. Or just wanted to basically get everything filled off the checklist of things. So.
Just grinding XP just to do it.
Yeah, just to do it. Yeah. So yeah, just for the thrill of it. Let's see here. Yeah. If you could stream any game, what would it be? Ooh. What would it be? Ooh, that's a hard one.
That's a hard question.
Yeah, you threw out a really good hard question. Because there's already games, I mean, we've talked about it on hand. I talked about it. Metal Gear Rising would be one of the games I would love to stream, but I need to wait until my internet gets better for me to do that. Because I played a lot of good games on stream that I enjoyed. Top 3 games I played was Journey, which is a really good game. Journey I played. I played. This was fun just because it was me and Chaotic, but I played. What was it? It was the game that had like 2 prisoners. It was like it was from the people that did It Takes Two. I forgot the name of it. Let me look. A Way Out. That's what it was.
A Way Out.
Yeah.
It Takes Two, A Way Out, and Two Brothers.
Yeah, two. Yeah. Yeah. I played A Way Out with me and Chaotic, and it was a fun time because that was one of my. It was one of my favorite games just because I was just memeing and all that, and Chaotic was memeing. And it was just nice. It was a fun game to play. Nice. And the other game I played on stream. Honestly, in the sense of it just about hitting me close to home with it, because of I guess I have a soft spot for it, but it's Yakuza Kiwami.
Yeah, it's a good game. That's another good game.
It's a great game. It's a great game. I did that for charity, but the meaning behind that game too was also impactful as well. Because I already knew the story about Yakuza 0 before this, so it was impactful for me personally. And finally, from you, Tara, what are you hoping to see streaming in the future? I'm hoping, honestly, I'm hoping on hand streaming wise or so that when I get a chance, I would love to be able to do like a very big collab with people who are interested in streaming, but also do a big collab with the I want to get my own community, like everybody in the Discord involved with stuff to be able to play it. And I would love to basically do that. Like, just do like a game where we can all participate and play together. Or, honestly, if I could, and I would love to see it happen, whenever I reach 15,000, not 15,000, 1,500, that was a big number leap, 1,500 followers, I would love to see it if I would have people to be able to be interested in me playing Dead Cells, but I have the Twitch integration on where everybody can throw things at me, trap-wise and whatnot. Or, for those who'd be interested in seeing how bad, I mean, how I would interact with spiders, me playing Grounded. It would be interesting when that happens, but it would be a matter of time and whenever that happens. So I have projects. I've actually, funny enough, I got my notebook here. Let me see. I actually have a notebook here that has a bunch of ideas that I put into this. Actually, I have a bunch of ideas in this one. Funny enough, hilariously enough.
Right next to where it says stream Metal Gear Rising, it says build a Hydron Collider.
Good God. I think what was it that I had in here? There's two things in this notebook that I could easily do. It'd be interesting to try because I would like to have a work council for it, but basically doing Civilization 6 with friends, and we would have a work council and work out ideas and decisions in that. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to attempt to do that because I have the tools to do it. I just need to basically figure out who it is. So, I have XCOM 2, and I have the Nexus mod. Well, actually, I have the mod on it where basically you can customize characters to make them look like certain things. I should do it where I would basically do XCOM's Friend Edition, where I would make everybody in the community into XCOM, and you guys' fate would be in my hands to basically. Oh boy. The thing was I was hoping I could find a mod that makes it where the AI takes over for it, and I don't have to do anything but commentate, because it would just be much more impactful than me being in my hands. Because let's be fair, I'll screw something up, but
like the AI just kind of does the missions.
It does the missions. It does the missions, and whatever happens, but I would commentate on it with you guys like it was a TV show. Like we're watching a pay-per-view, like wrestling.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah. And with that, that's all the questions I've answered for you on Tara. So, there we go. Yeah. Hopefully, all those were kind of like, all those questions, I have for you. I hope I answered everything correctly for you, for what you were looking for answer-wise or so, especially for, like, what you got planned in the future, streaming-wise, and just everything else.
Very satisfactory.
Yeah.
It's
good.
Also, congratulations on 7 years.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm happy to have you with me for it. Yeah.